Hey guys, welcome back to Models and Beer. Just a little bit different of a video today. I'm going to say maybe a quarter, maybe close to a halfway to being done with the Arizona, but I need to take a break. It's just like all my free time has been going into that, and I'm just, not that I'm getting burnt out on it, but I just need to take a little break from it. So I'm just doing a little update here to let y'all know. I've been trying to put out videos at least once a week, and I'm going to just take a week off from the Arizona. So it'll probably be about 2 weeks before you'll see the next update on that. But enough with that. I thought I would kind of share a couple of my kits, my other builds, before I started my channel. I've been back into modeling now for probably 6-7 years, I guess it's been. And I've built a lot of different things. I've done cars, I've done planes, I've done jets, I've done semi-trucks, I've done, you name it, motorcycles, a little bit of everything I've dabbled in. But basically what I was doing was, I've always wanted to do one of these 1/200 scale models, but I wanted to make sure that my skills were, they needed to be, I don't, like the Arizona, I got well over $1,000 wrapped up in that, between the photo etch and the deck and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I got well over $1,000 in it, so I really don't want to mess it up. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to take a break. If I don't take a break, I've got a feeling I'm going to get sloppy, and I don't want to get sloppy on that. So I'm just want to share a couple of my other stuff with you. Figure it'd be a good time to do that. Originally, back in 1977, I was living with my father. My parents had divorced. My mother was living up in Missouri. My father was here in Florida. My sister and I were living with him. He had brought home a model rocket for me, and him and I built this thing together. I don't have one to show you, but I did find an image online, so let me slip that in here real quick. About 3 months after building this, my father had passed away. We ended up moving back to Missouri to my mother's. And that was the Demon A20. I kind of was looking for that kit. I've been going on eBay, not any longer, but back when I was getting back into my modeling thing. I tried to replace that kit just because it meant something to me, and I checked eBay, and it's a kit back from the early 70s, so these things are hard to come by. So I was never able to find that, unfortunately, but I still have the good memories from it. But so we ended up moving back up to Missouri, to where my mother was living, and I continued to build model rockets. I enjoyed it. And I had built several of them at that point. I mowed yards to get money, and I would, I always had every year they would send me an updated catalog. And, back then they were cheap. They were just cardboard model rockets. And I would pay, $7, $10, I think it was, for these different kits. And I remember waiting for the mailman. I knew about when it was supposed to show up. And I would leave the door on the mailbox open, so that way I'd know when the mailman was there in case I missed him. I could look out the window, and if the door was shut, then I knew he was there, and I'd run out to the mailbox to see if my rocket had arrived yet. So those were fun times. And as I got older, and I wanted to get back into my modeling, I started off with a couple more rocket kits. And I was on eBay one day, and I found another rocket that I had built back in the 70s. And it was, again, a vintage kit. It was still in the bag. It looked like there was no damage, no nothing to it. So it was one of those auctions where you could buy it now. And the guy had a ridiculous price on it, like $300 and something he wanted for this thing. Or it would go into an auction type thing, and you could bid on it. Well, I had put a bid on it, and I put my maximum bid was like at $50 or something or another. And I was competing with another guy who was bidding on this same kit. And it got to be the day of the ending of the auction. It was up to around like $100, I think it was, something like that. And as the auction was ending, it was getting down to like the last minute. And I was sitting there, and I had my hand on the mouse, and I waited till it was like maybe 10 seconds to the end of this auction, and I hit my bid, and I ended up winning this model and this rocket. And I got it for like $120 or something or another. And not that it's worth that. Again, it's just cardboard, but it was the memories, you know, is why I wanted that. And this is it here. It's the Wolverine, another Estes kit. And it flew off of A rockets. And I had bought this with one of my lawn mowing monies back in the day in the 70s, and I had built it. Funny story, I didn't have any paints, and I had really no way of getting paints. We lived out in the boonies, and we only went to town like once a week, but we had painted our house, and we had like almost a gallon of this teal paint that was in a shed out back. So all the rockets that I bought were all painted teal, because that was the only paint that I had. So yeah, I had this rocket here, and it was painted teal. But this is the way it's supposed to look, the silver. And I was fortunate. Even the decals on here were in good shape. So it's got the parachute in it, but I will never fly this simply because I paid $125 for it. And it means something to me, you know, silly as it sounds. But so I was able to find this. And any of you guys who have built any of the Estes model rockets back then, the smaller kits came with the stand. And I got the stand. Still, that came with it, so I got like the whole package. It was really cool, and so I keep that one displayed. And then another kit that I had was the Scout, and I ended up finding another one of these on eBay, but this one wasn't priced too bad. I think it was like maybe $45 I got it for. But this was another kit that I had back in the 70s, and they're hard to come by. There are companies that are making this right now, but it's not the actual one. This is the actual one, you know, back from the 70s. It was in another vintage kit type thing. So I ended up building that. But those two actually meant something to me. So that was kind of cool, you know, that I found those two. And so then I got back into, you know, started getting into plastic models and things like that. Let me show you here. Here's a car I did, and I beat the heck out of this thing as far as like painting and stuff goes like that. I wanted this to look like maybe it was a teenager who had gotten this car, and you know, it almost looks like it belongs in a junkyard, but I don't know if you can make that out. I really weathered the heck out of this thing, and on the other side here I had painted the door a different color to make it look like, you know, it was a door that was a replacement. And the hood the same way. The hood is painted a light blue. And you can see all the rust I put on it. And it was a fun kit. And I bought it just to actually do that with it. To weather it like that. And the inside, I took and put some seat covers. You can see that. And what I did is I took some fabric, and I soaked it in decoupage and water and wrung them out, and then I laid them over the seats, and then I took some stain and stained the seats up. You can see that there, hopefully. But yeah, that was just a fun little kit that I did. And let's see if we can get the hood up here. And there's the motor. But yeah, that was fun. That was just, you know, just playing around. But, you know, I started weathering it, and I did get a little carried away with it, you know. But I like it. It's actually really cool. So I keep this one up on my display. I don't know if you can see behind me here. I got this where I keep a lot of my kits, my builds, I should say. And maybe I'll do a couple more, and we'll do more. I'll put more of those on here so you can check those out. And I'm going to switch to the overhead, and we can look down. It might be easier to see these models. I'll be right back. Well, actually, let me show you one more before I go to the overhead. I almost forgot I had another one I wanted to show you. And let me get this out of the way so we don't get it damaged. This one's going back again to my childhood, but a whole lot earlier than 1970s. And I'm going to show my age here. I got the Mobius Kit of the B9 robot from Lost in Space. And let me get him in here. And I love this guy. He sits on my shelf back here too. And I did the upgrade kits for this. I actually got the glass dome, for his head. Plastic part, but I bought all the extras. And I bought the lighting kit for his chest plate here and the soundboard that's in there. Unfortunately, the button for the soundboard, you can see it right there, fell through and it's laying inside. So I'm going to have to find a way to tear this thing apart to get to that button and get it mounted back without doing too much damage to this. I haven't done it yet simply for the reason I'm afraid of damaging things. But let me get him lit up here and you can see how he looks. There we go. You can kind of make it out there. Let me see if I shut this light off, we can see it any better. His head lights up. You can see his eyes on the top lighting up. His, well, unfortunately, I can't get that. But anyways, yeah. And like I said, he does have a soundboard inside, and when he talks, his chest area here lights up red along with the words and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's him, the B9 robot from Lost in Space. I'm sure some of you guys remember the show. Maybe not so much the younger guys, but yeah, that's my B9. And I'll tell you what, when I went to building that, there was several lighting kits available for this kit. And I went with Tenna Controls. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them. And I bought the lighting kit from them, and I paid like $140 something for this lighting kit, but it did include the soundboard. So I ordered that, and it finally came, and I was kind of disappointed when it got to me. It was a kit. The kit was nothing but bags of LED lights. It came with a wiring harness, and it came with a motherboard type thing. And I'll show you the instructions. And I was lost. I had no idea how to do any of this stuff. I'm not I don't know how to solder, all that kind of stuff. And that's what it required. You actually had to get in there with solder and solder to this board and run your lights. And it was just a complete nightmare. And, for $140, I was really disappointed because basically I think with the, the LEDs and stuff that I got, it probably was maybe cost them 15, 20 bucks, and there was another kit. I don't remember who it was through, but the board was all complete and everything. You just set it right into the back of the B9 robot and plugged it in. It was ready to go. And the price difference wasn't too much, but the Tenna Control was a little bit cheaper, and I think that's why I went with it. But it took me forever to put that together, and I was frustrated. I ended up finding a video on YouTube of somebody that did this, thank God, that did the Tenna Control thing, and I was able to kind of follow along with their video. They did a build, type thing with showing how they did it. But had it not been for that, I still wouldn't have these lights put into this thing. But actually, let me flip the camera around now, and I'm going to show you what the instruction sheet looked like for that. Okay, so this is the instruction book that came with the Tenna Controls for the lighting kit for the B9 robot. And let me kind of zoom in here a little bit so you can see this. Where's the zoom in? But here we go. But basically, this is what you got. And like I said, if you almost have to be an electronics type genius to know how to put this thing together. You have to know the terms of, let me see. Here's another piece of it back here. And it basically showed you the wires. This is the motherboard here, and it showed you where to solder and what to connect everything to. You got to connect wires together here with solder. and it was just a complete nightmare. It was horrible instructions. And like I said, had I not found that video, and it gives you a little list here, you know, of anodes and cathodes, and yeah, see, I don't even know how to pronounce the stuff, but that was the instructions, and it was horrible. But I did get it together, and I'm glad it's over. And like I said, everything worked on it. The lights all work, and the soundboard does work. I just got to, you know, find a way to get that button back out of there and get it mounted back up there. But let me show you another one of my kit. Here's some of my military stuff, and I'm sure you guys probably have built these. These are stuff from the Hobby Lobby that I had done, and this is one of the kits here. And I got some weathering on here. I got the mud on the tires. Let me see if you can get it in there. And I enjoyed the military vehicles as far as the builds. You can see the mud on the tires there. I got this guy here on his jumping out. But yeah, that's one of my military kits. And let me just grab another one here. I got a tank that I had done. And I got the camo all done on it. You can see I also got the mud on the tires, and there's some German soldiers. And I got a whole bunch of other stuff that I did, and I'm going to keep this video short, but maybe I'll make another one next couple of days showing some more of my models and stuff that I've done. So let me see if I got anything else closer here. No, the rest are going to be let me switch this camera back around. Alright, so anyways, yeah, that's basically what I have to show today. I got a, like you see in the back here, or this side, I got a whole bunch of models up there in my display case, and I'll bring a few more of those out for the next video. I have to dust them off. They've been sitting there for quite a while, so I have to clean them up, otherwise I'd go back and grab them, a couple more, and bring them up here. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm going to take a break from Arizona for maybe just a week. But I really want to take the time to visit some of your guys' channels. I've neglected that because I've been so busy just with life itself, and then, you know, trying to apply my time to the Arizona. And so I'm going to go through and visit everybody's channels and catch up on your guys' videos. So if I haven't been on your channel yet, I'm on my way. And I'll comment and, you know, let you know that I was there, and I just want to see what you guys are doing. So that's it for today, guys. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And give me a couple of days. I'll come up with a couple more of my past builds, just to kind of fill in the space until I get back to the Arizona. So guys, take it easy. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time around. Thank you.